From Omni Search Labs in Rhode Island, you're listening to Omni Presents. I'm Chris.
And I'm Cheryl. We're your guides from the Omni Search Labs digital marketing team.
Join us as we unravel the latest from the OSL blog.
And walk you through the latest news and information on how to optimize your business for AI and search engines.
So today we are diving deep into something huge. A massive shift we detailed in our November 2025 report.
Right.
For decades, the entire world of digital marketing revolved around one single thing: Google.
Everything was Google. We all lived in that Google-centric world.
Exactly. And the goal was always to get on that first page. You wanted one of those 10 blue links.
And that era, I think we can safely say, based on the data, it's over. This isn't just a small change, it's a total dissolution of that old model.
It really is. So the big question for any business in Rhode Island, really anywhere, is if you can't rely on clicks anymore, what's the objective? What are you even trying to do?
Yeah, what's the new goal?
The new goal is presence. It's that simple and that complicated. We've stopped trying to just earn clicks. Now we're trying to earn acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement. So you want your business, your expertise, your actual services to be cited, to be summarized and recommended by the AIs.
Yes. The intelligent agents that are now the gatekeepers for how most people find information.
And a monumental change like that, it needs a whole new approach, a new name even.
Which brings us to the successor of SEO. We are now fully in the era of search everywhere optimization, SEvO.
SEvO.
Okay, and it really makes sense if you think about the evolution. First, there was universal SEO, blending in images and video.
Right. Then holistic SEO, which brought in things like user experience and site speed.
And now SEvO is about ubiquitous search. It's everywhere. Your customers are asking smart speakers in the kitchen, they're using chatbots, they're navigating in their car. You have to be discoverable in all of those places.
And the fundamental shift behind that is moving away from, keyword matching?
Yeah, from simple keyword matching, that string of text, to something much deeper. Entity establishment.
Okay, break that down. What's the difference?
Think of it like this. Keyword matching is like finding a word in a dictionary. Simple. But entity establishment, that's about proving to a machine that you are a whole authoritative concept.
A concept.
Yeah. So if you're a high-end contractor, a user isn't just typing roofer near me anymore. They're asking an AI a full question.
Like, who is the most reliable historic home renovator in Bristol, Rhode Island with proven experience with slate roofs?
Exactly that. The AI isn't looking for keywords. It's looking for the entity that perfectly connects all those concepts. Reliability, historic work, Bristol, slate roofs. It's a huge leap.
So that's the real challenge for, small business owner in Tiverton or Newport. How do you build that entity so the AI trusts you, especially when the goal might just be a citation in a summary, not even a click?
Well, that leads us right into the biggest development of the month, which is Google's full-on transition to AI mode.
The AI overviews.
Yep. Those summaries at the very top of the page, they are now the default for any complex informational question.
And this is that zero-click reality that everyone is so worried about. What's the data actually showing? What's the impact?
It's painful, but it's what we expected. AI overviews have stabilized at about 15% of all queries.
Okay, that doesn't sound too bad.
But, and this is the crucial part, for those high-intent informational queries like how to winterize a summer cottage in Narragansett, that number jumps to almost 90%.
90? Wow.
Yeah, if the AI can answer it, it will. And this has just crushed organic click-through rates. We're seeing CTR drop by 18% on the low end, up to a staggering 64% when that summary is there.
So the AI summary is kind of like the back of the book. It gives you enough that you don't have to actually, buy the book or click.
That is the perfect analogy. So if you're a business in South Kingstown, you just can't use website sessions as your main KPI anymore. It's not a healthy metric.
We have to pivot. So what are we measuring instead?
We have to move up the funnel. We're now looking at brand visibility and share of voice.
Okay. And they're not the same thing.
No, absolutely not. Brand visibility is your total impression count, how many times you could have been found. But share of voice, that's how often your content is actually used, non-branded, in an AI summary.
Ah, so getting mentioned is the win.
Getting mentioned in that summary is a massive win, even with 0 clicks, because it builds authority, and that authority is what drives future high-intent branded searches. Someone sees the AI recommend you, and next time, they search for your business by name.
So the AI is basically the world's most sophisticated referral service.
And to get that referral, you have to understand how it thinks, how it builds its answers. We call it query fan-out.
Query fan out. Okay.
So with that Narragansett Cottage question, the AI doesn't just read one article. It breaks the main question into smaller pieces. Plumbing, roofing, security. It fans out and runs all these little sub-searches at once.
And then it pulls the best bits from maybe 5 different sources to build one perfect synthesized answer.
Precisely. Which
Yeah.
gives us a huge tactical insight.
Generic content is dead.
It's content suicide. If you just have one broad page on winter services, the AI is going to ignore you when it fans out to look for coastal plumbing winterization techniques. You'll be invisible.
You need to have deep, specific content clusters. You have to be the expert on that one tiny piece of the bigger question.
You have to be. And the good news is we can finally measure this stuff thanks to the new Search Console update.
Right, the new AI mode metrics. What should a small business owner be looking for in there?
This is the secret sauce. You're looking for a very specific pattern. High impressions, but very low click-through rate.
Okay, high impressions, low CTR.
If you see that, you are in what we call an AI opportunity sweet spot. It means your content is good enough for the AI to use it for parts. You're getting visibility.
But the AI is giving away the whole answer, so no one needs to click.
Exactly. So the action step is to find those keywords, find the content, and then add a layer of value that the AI cannot summarize.
Something interactive.
It could be an interactive map of zoning laws, a complex data table, a downloadable checklist for Rhode Island permits, something that forces the user to click to get the full utility.
That's a big ask, though. Does a one-person consulting firm in Warwick really have time to build a proprietary tool just for this?
That's a great question, and it really is where the rubber meets the road. It doesn't have to be a giant tool. It could be something as simple as a personalized cost calculator on the page. You give away 95% of the value, but that last 5%, the part that's customized to them, that's the click incentive.
I see it. That makes sense. And that whole process really leads us right into the new content framework, the old EEAT.
Pronounced the EEA.
Right, EEAT. It's not enough for this new AI world. We're moving to the Equate framework.
Equate. It's designed to satisfy both humans and the AI's demand for verifiable original information. And a couple of these pillars are way more important now.
Let's start at the top. The first E is for experience. Why is that so important now?
Because AI can synthesize facts, but it can't create real firsthand knowledge. It can't fake having been there.
So your content has to prove it. First-person language, original photos.
Yes. Instead of writing, "one should do this," you write, "In our 20 years fixing slate roofs on Providence's east side, we've learned that the salt air requires a specific copper flashing." You're proving you did the work. You learned the lesson.
Okay, next is Q for quality, but it's really about completeness, being the definitive source.
Exactly. If you're a wedding planner in Rhode Island, you don't just write a nice blog post. You create a single massive resource, a table with every venue's capacity, price, parking situation, everything. The AI has no choice but to use you.
And that brings us to U for uniqueness, information gain. You said this is the big one.
This is the most critical factor for visibility now. We call it AI catnip.
AI catnip. I like that. So why is original data so valuable?
Because large language models are trained on what already exists. If you just repeat what's on Wikipedia, the AI already knows it. It's boring. But if you provide new primary data, a survey you ran, a local study, the AI has to use it to give the freshest answer.
So a small firm could survey local businesses on the impact of the 2025 RI hotel tax. And just by publishing that data, they become disproportionately valuable.
Absolutely. That's the hack.
Okay, after uniqueness, we have A for authoritativeness. This is about external validation, right?
Right. Your local currency. It's winning local awards like the Rhode Island Tech 10, getting links from the Chamber of Commerce. It shows the AI you're a trusted part of the local community.
And then T for trustworthiness. This is technical security, but you mentioned consistency too.
Yeah, HTTPS is table stakes.
Yeah.
But the key for SEvO is that your address, your phone number, your hours, they have to be identical everywhere. Your website, Google Business Profile, Bing Places, any mismatch kills trust with the machine.
And finally, the last E, expertise. This is about the person writing the content.
Yes. Every article needs a clear author. That author needs a bio that lists their credentials. If they're a CPA, you link to their professional association or their LinkedIn. The AI needs to verify that a real qualified human is behind the words.
The Equate framework is a really solid roadmap. But if we're talking about search everywhere optimization, we have to look beyond Google.
We absolutely do. The user journey is totally fractured now.
So let's talk about the B2B buyer in Rhode Island.
Good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're a defense contractor looking for, say, CNC machining in Middletown, where is that procurement agent searching?
They're at their desk during work hours on a company computer.
Which means they're likely locked into the Microsoft ecosystem. They're using Microsoft Edge, they're using Bing, they're using Copilot for that deep, complex research.
And Bing's desktop market share in corporate settings, it's not trivial. It can be 12, even 15%. That's a lot of high-value customers.
It is, and Bing's AI favors different things. It loves comparison tables, flowcharts, really structured, granular data.
Yeah.
So you have to optimize for it specifically and make sure your Bing Places profile is perfect.
And what about the non-screen searches? Voice and car dashboards.
Those are all about urgency and perfect data. Where's the nearest lumberyard open now? A search like that relies 100% on your structured data being flawless. The second your hours are wrong in Yelp or Apple Maps, Siri sends that customer to your competitor. It's that simple.
Okay, so let's bring all this back home. Let's talk about the economic landscape right here in Rhode Island as we head into December.
Yeah, it's an interesting moment. The moving economy is basically stalled because of interest rates. Nobody's buying houses.
But that's fueling the renovation economy.
It is. Search volume for things like home addition and finished basement is way up across the state. People are investing in the homes they already have.
So contractors and architects need to be super visible right now. And there are also some big regulatory changes coming that businesses need to get ahead of.
That's right. The new 5% tax on short-term rentals. If you're a property manager, you need to get that on your website now. Explain the fee, be transparent. Hiding it kills that trustworthiness pillar in Equate.
And then there's the weather.
Yes, the forecast is for a front-loaded winter, a La Niña pattern. That means a cold, possibly snowy December is coming.
So this is not the time for generic content. It's time for urgency marketing.
Now, today, if you're an HVAC company, a plumber, a snow removal service, you need to pivot your whole digital presence. Your homepage should say emergency heating repair in RI. You have to be ready before the first blizzard, not after.
Okay, so that leads to the most immediate practical thing any business can do. The action item for this week.
The easy win for SEvO is a holiday hours audit.
This is such a simple thing, but it causes so much friction for customers. They're searching open now on Christmas Eve.
And if your profile says hours might differ, they're gone. They'll go to the competitor who took 2 minutes to confirm their schedule.
So the action is to log into your Google Business profile and your Bing Places profile and manually set your special hours December 24th, 25th, 31st, January 1st.
Do it now. You'll get that little confirmed by business trust tag, and that drives foot traffic. It's so important for retailers in Westerly, service businesses in Providence, everyone.
Excellent. Okay, let's get even more specific. Can we talk about advanced SEvO tactics for two key Rhode Island sectors? Let's say manufacturing and professional services.
Great choices. For manufacturing in defense, especially on Equidneck Island or around Quonset, the goal is entity authority, and the place to build it is on Bing and LinkedIn because that's where the procurement agents are doing their research.
So the content needs to be very high-level thought leadership.
Exactly. The winning tactic is publishing a complex white paper, something like complying with 2026 DoD cyber standards. That positions you as the expert the AI has to cite. And with the labor market so tight, make sure your careers page is using job posting schema. That's recruitment, SEvO.
Okay, and for professional services, the lawyers, the accountants, the consultants in the Providence and Warwick corridor.
For them, it is all about the founder brand and that expertise pillar from Equate. The professionals themselves need to be visible authors.
Writing articles, publishing op-eds.
Yes, creating a trail of high-quality content that feeds the AI's knowledge graph and validates them as a true expert in their field.
And for a high-trust field like that, what about reviews?
Reviews are critical, but you have to manage them differently. The AI reads and summarizes the text of the reviews, so you need to ask your clients to be specific.
So great service isn't good enough.
Not anymore. They expertly handled my complex 2025 corporate tax preparation is infinitely more powerful. You want reviews that contain the high-intent keywords that your future customers are searching for. Here's the bottom line. The era of just optimizing for Google is over. Businesses in Rhode Island must embrace Search Everywhere Optimization, or SEvO, by shifting their focus from clicks to brand visibility and entity establishment, ensuring they are cited and recommended by AI across all platforms.
If you're a business owner wrestling with this right now, the key is to immediately perform your holiday hours audit on Google Business Profile and Bing Places. Explicitly confirming your special hours in Providence or South Kingstown eliminates customer uncertainty and earns the trust tag that drives foot traffic this busy season.
Head over to omnisearchlabs.com/blog to read the full post and grab the resource links we mentioned.
We'll be back in a few weeks with our next episode.
From OmniSearch Labs in Rhode Island, thanks for listening. Now, go optimize something and be discovered.